because you're so.
Hi, everyone. This is Tia Bottom with Time Marker Photography and Time Marker Legacy. I interview amazing women of value, and this week is no different. I have the beautiful, passionate, creative Elaine Turso, the owner of Elaine Turso LLC. She is amazing. She's a polka dot sister. You have done all of the things. I cannot wait to show you off to the other women. You're amazing. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So maybe the question should be, what don't I do?
Right. True.
Right. So I am a business strategist and coach, and I help entrepreneurs get out of their own damn way and get shit done. Right. I love accountability. And I'm actually, is it okay if I share my big news?
Absolutely.
Because I haven't really shared it publicly yet. So so I'm actually getting ready to open up a marketing agency called Insource It Marketing Agency. And it is basically the idea of connecting coaches and consultants who want to launch a program with what I call my dream team of professionals that will help you launch a program in 30 days or less. And so this is like a brand new thing that I'm going to be diving into. I'm super excited. I'm getting ready to start. I've been like connecting with some of my peeps that I know and trust. We're like, hey, do you want to come into my agency? So I'm like, that is super exciting. And I'm like, I am a jump all in kind of person, and it's killing me that I can't jump right in right now because my son's getting ready to come home from college and I want to spend time with him. And so launching an agency during that time is probably not the best idea. So I will be patient and I will wait it out and then dive in June.
Awesome. I cannot wait for that. We talked a little bit about it and it sounds amazing. And I will definitely be front of the line.
Yay. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it. It really, because I see the, the frustration and the overwhelm that people have when they are trying to do all the things, they're trying to wear all the hats because they think they can't afford it, or they are hiring out to a virtual assistant, which is fine, but not every VA is the same. They are not all created equal. And that's the beauty of it. But it's also, it's the curse and the blessing, right? They're not all created equal. And being able to manage people while you are trying to do your own thing and focus on your zone of genius is a lot of work. And my philosophy is, why not just go with one person that can take care of all of those details for you so that you can just focus on your zone of genius and not be stressing out about who's doing what and what you're supposed to do and what they're supposed to do and what Sally's doing and what Joe is doing. And no, like, I don't want to do that. So why would someone else want to do that? So I'm like, let's solve that problem, because that is a problem to me. And I just don't want people, I want you to just do what you're good at and let someone else handle all those details for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned you had a son. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 children. We are empty nesters. My daughter is 24 and she is the used car sales manager at Heartland Toyota here in Washington. And she is the youngest female to ever be in that role. Like, she started out as a saleswoman and moved up to, little different positions, and then got promoted to a coveted seat that she was totally not expecting at all. It was kind of like one of those things that she was like, wait, what? She's like, I'm 24, right? They're like, yeah. She's like, but I'm only 24, right? But she is really good at what she does. It's amazing to me that the way that she talks about cars. And I'm like, who are you? And where did you learn this from? Because it was not from me and it was not from your dad, because we don't care about cars like that. But she just she's a natural at it. And then my son is 19. Oh. And he is going to be a sophomore at the University of Jamestown in North Dakota. And he is there on a football scholarship. He loves football, has been playing football since he could was 5 years old to play
Right.
football. He's played football every single year, loves it. And it's what him and his dad bond over, is football. So
Aw.
he gets to come home for a little under a month, and we'll get to see him for like 3 weeks. And yeah, so I'm just so excited to have him home for a little bit.
Yes, we talked a little bit about that, and you're going on a whale watch, which I love. I did
Yes.
one when I was little, or like in elementary school on the East Coast.
Hmm.
And since you're in Washington State, so it's a killer whale one, right? Is that what it is?
Orcas, yeah, orcas
Yeah, sorry,
and
orcas.
orcas and humpbacks, I think,
Oh,
are the main whales that we have here in the
oh my
Pacific
gosh.
Northwest.
I love humpback whales. They are like so serene to me. I
Yeah.
cannot wait. You better take pictures. I cannot wait to see
Oh, I
them.
know. I've lived in Washington State my entire freaking life, and every time there's a whale watch sighting, I am nowhere near it, and I get so mad because I am never in the right place at the right time to see the whales. And I've lived here my whole damn life, and I'm like, we're surrounded by water. I should be, as a resident, long-term resident, I should have been able to already see the whales. In order for us to see any sort of marine life, we had to go to Maui. And then we were on a scuba tour thing or whatever, and here comes the dolphins. And I was in heaven because the boat was surrounded by dolphins. And it was like, oh my God, this is so amazing.
I hope you have that same experience with the
Me
whales.
too.
That would
Oh
be
my gosh, it
amazing.
would just be
The
so
baby whales. Oh
fun.
my gosh.
Oh my God, right?
Yes, that would be awesome. So, what are you watching right now? Like, do you watch TV? Like, what's your favorite
Yes.
thing to watch?
Yeah. So my husband and I have we have kind of like our shows that we watch together. And then like I watch stuff on my own and he watches stuff on his own. But right now we are Netflixing The Circle,
Me
which is
too.
we did watch season 1, and so we're watching season 2 right now. And yeah, and then we also watch The Blacklist. That is one of our favorite shows as well. James Spader is just freaking amazeballs, and I've loved him ever since he was on Boston Legal.
Mm.
And but he just is so good, and the show is just kind of pulls you in. And it's very good. So we watch that. On my own, I watch Good Girls. I love Good Girls. I think that's
Yeah.
a really, really good show. And I'm a new fan of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Oh.
I just love that show. It is just so like wholesome, right? And it kind of tackles some issues, but also being very kind of lighthearted. And, the fact that people just break out into random songs and
Right.
she has a magical power. And it's a really, really cute show. It's a really cute show. And then
I go ahead. Sorry.
and then every single day, I am not joking when I tell you this, I watch reruns of Friends every single day of my life. So Nick at Night has Friends on, and so that's what I sleep with the TV on, and that's what I fall asleep to is Friends every single night. And my favorite episode was on last night, and I told my husband, I was like, by the way, just so you know, this is my favorite episode in case it was ever a trivia question.
Right. These are must know.
These are must know questions. And the funny thing is that I said, I'm curious because it's just always on in the house. I'm like, I wonder how much he actually knows about the show because I watch it so much and we've been, I've watched forever.
Yeah.
And so I like started asking him questions and I'm like, oh, he is paying attention because he got them right. And I was like, oh my God, he is watching it. So every time he goes, oh, Friends is on again.
Well, it's a comfort thing.
It is. It is a comfort
And
thing.
it's predictable. Nothing crazy bad's gonna happen. It's the
Right. Like
best.
I can have it on in the background and I don't have to worry that I'm going to miss something
Right.
like if it was a new show. I don't have to worry that I'm going to miss something. It's just on. I know exactly what they're going to say. I know exactly the outcome. Nothing is going to change. And
Right.
I can have it on in the background. I'm not going to, I have fear of missing out. I have FOMO
Uh-uh.
and I don't have to worry about it. So,
Right,
yeah.
right. Yes, I love that. I think a lot of people can relate to that, you know, like
Mhm.
that's just a human thing. I
Yep.
also I have my favorite things that I watch, like if I'm stressed or something, like it's my
Mm,
go-to thing.
mhm.
So I totally understand that. I love that. Friends is perfect for that.
Yeah.
I do have to look into Blacklist. I've never watched that.
Oh,
So
it's so good. It is on Netflix, right? So you can get caught up, and then the new seasons are every Friday night
okay.
on on NBC. And it's on demand as well if you have Comcast or whatever. But it's a really, really good show. It's a really
Sounds
good show. Yeah.
I'll definitely look into American Housewife. It's funny. Like I just
Oh,
like it's hilarious.
I do love funny, so I will check that out.
That's on Hulu.
Okay. I don't have Hulu though.
Oh,
I know we have like we have Netflix, we have Amazon Prime, we have Apple TV because I had to get Apple TV specifically to watch Billie Eilish's
yes.
documentary.
Yes, I
I
did
love
too. I
Billie
cried.
Eilish.
Oh my gosh, I cried so
Yeah,
hard. It
yeah.
broke my
I
heart.
love her. I love her. It's actually really funny how I even discovered her. So we were on vacation, spring break, and we were in Virginia getting ready to go to Busch Gardens, and it was raining. So we were like hanging out in the hotel room, and my daughter was doing work, and I was scrolling on my phone, and I came across, I love the Foo Fighters. Foo
Uh,
Fighters are like my favorite band. And so Dave Grohl was in the audience of Ellen
right.
while Billie Eilish was being
Yes,
interviewed.
yes, I saw
And
that.
so I'm like, oh, like I was it was because of Dave Grohl, and I was like, who is this girl? Like I don't even know who this girl is. So I went on Spotify and I pull up a song to listen to it, and my daughter goes, "Did you hack into my playlist?" And I said, "No." She goes, "I'm listening to that song right now, mother."
Oh,
And I was
that
like, "Oh, I'm just listening because I saw her on Ellen, and I'm just trying to figure out who this girl is." And she's like, "Oh my God." So she starts going. She was so excited. She started telling me the whole story of this girl.
mhm, mhm.
And I was like, okay. So I started listening to her music, and I was able to get us concert tickets to go see her show. And then COVID happened.
Oh,
And so then I was like really bummed. But I follow her and like watch all of her little mini desk concerts and all the stuff. And I just love her. I think
yeah.
she's so brilliant and honest and human. And I love that she challenges people to, like, you don't get to body shame me for having boobs. And you don't get to, like, because I wear baggy clothes, and if I wear something skin tight, you don't get to comment on my body. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, girl, yes, because you and I both, I used to be a photographer, you're a photographer. So this, like, body positivity is like a thing for us.
Absolutely.
And it is like the cross that we will die on, is that you don't get to put other people down ever. You don't get to bully people, you don't get to be rude online. Like, it is not a thing for us. It is just like, it is who we are as an industry. And so I was super proud of her for standing up for herself and basically putting that boundary down, that you don't get to do that. You don't get to talk about me in that way. And if you're commenting on my body when I'm not even 18 yet, what does that say about you?
Absolutely.
First of all, right? So I was like, go girl. Like, okay, like, she's my girl.
Yeah, she's amazing. She and Dave Grohl saw it. You could see him
Yeah,
see her
yeah,
as like, you are a genius, you're a protege. Like
yeah.
she is amazing. She doesn't even know how amazing she
Mhm.
is.
She
And that
really
breaks
doesn't
my
know.
heart. Like,
I know.
oh, because she really is. She's a
Yeah,
star.
yeah,
She's meant to be.
yeah,
So yeah, I definitely feel the same way you do. I just love her.
yeah,
Like as a mom too, I'm like, I just want to
yeah,
like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. So yeah, I
yeah,
totally understand that too. Um, so you're an amazing businesswoman. You said that you have been a photographer, you have a podcast, you have collaborations with amazing people, and you've done boxes that you send out and like the potty mouth stuff. So definitely she's going to have a sale because she's moving on from that. And they are so fun. And now you're building a new thing and you have a summit coming up. What else? Tell me all the things that are coming up right now.
What isn't coming up?
Right.
Yeah. So I love to teach. I love profanity. It's like one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. And I actually wrote a book that has my middle fingers on the cover. I wrote the book specifically so that my mother would not. And so it was actually really funny, the realization that I had when I was like, I was so scared. I was so scared to put this book out. And it's a collection of women telling their stories about a time that really just stuck with them. And it's a workbook and a journal and coloring pages and quotes and all the things.
Amazing. I didn't even know this. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Well, let me tell you. So it all started because with Polka Dot, I was in Diamond. I was a trainer for Diamond and I had the opportunity to have a table at Celebration. And I was like, I'm a photographer. I don't really have anything to sell. So I was like, oh, I'll write a book. That's literally why the whole thing came about. And so it was all about, body positivity and it was all kinds of stuff, but it was really some deep stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I was so scared that I was like, oh my gosh, the polka dot ladies are going to shun me. So what I did was I like to make a joke of stuff. So I will like be intentionally offensive. I've done that multiple times in various projects of my life. But I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up caution tape because, Halloween was kind of right around the corner. So Halloween stuff was out. So I went and got caution tape and I got like little caution signs and I wrote on it, caution, F-bombs ahead, like that kind of stuff. And then I got like the little shocked emoji sticker, like that sticker, so that if people wanted to put it on the cover of the book, they could. And so I was giving them the choice. So I brought 50 books with me and I came home with 7.
Wow.
The polka dot ladies loved it. And I was like, oh, it made me feel so good. And then I was like, why did I do this? And then I was like, oh, it's in complete defiance of my mother because my mother doesn't care for profanity. And so when I was growing up, everyone would always say, oh my gosh, you look so much like your mother.
Right.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I am doing all of this stuff so that people don't say that to me. So I have red hair. Right. My mother does not. It's like my way of like separating myself.
Yeah.
I love my mother. My mother is my biggest fan. It's not like I hate her. Yeah. Absolutely not. But it's just my way of having my own thing that she is not a part of. You know what I mean? Right. And so that's how profanity. And so from the book came the idea for a subscription box. Mm-hmm. And originally the box was kind of the same name as the book, which had the F word in it. And unfortunately, I could not run Facebook ads from anything that had profanity, including the Facebook page had profanity in it. And so I had to change the name I called it the Potty Mouth Pep Talk box because that was, safe. It was a safe, but you knew what it was about just by that word, by saying potty mouth, you knew what it was about. Right. And I loved doing the box. It was so fun for me. I loved coming up with creative products to put inside the box. Everything had profanity on it. I had a theme. Like this was probably one of my favorite things that I found was they're called Spare Fucks.
Yes, and I have that box.
They are little wooden and you get a whole thing of them and you get 30 of them. And so you can basically say, I have no more fucks to give you. Right. I'm out.
I have one right here.
Right. Like a friend of mine sent these to me and sent me a picture and said, oh my gosh, I saw these and you should totally get these for your box. They made me think of you. All I'm going to say is don't Google Spare Fucks. That's all I'm going to say. No. Don't Google it because you don't want those search results on your computer. That's all I'm going to, and don't click on anything.
Oh, that must have been so hard for you to try to
don't click on it, but they are an East Coast company.
Okay.
unfortunately, I don't have my reading glasses. Oh, they're pipandlola.com. So it's funny. Pipandlola.com actually started out in Washington State. And so when I emailed them, they're like, oh my God, we started out in Tacoma. I'm like, what? And so now they're like in Philadelphia, I think they're somewhere over there. But
Dang, that's
I know. So
small world. Small
I
world.
know, small world. I'll go on off a little rabbit trail. So my apologies. But yeah, so I did that. And then I have a great business partner, Paige Engel. Her and I met because of Polka Dot at Celebration in 2016 in Chicago. And we became friends, and then we became accountability partners, and then we became business partners. And so like that relationship has grown over time. And we started a thing called the 8338 Collective. And the 83 and the 38 identifies our Enneagram numbers. We are exact yin and yang. And so she is an 8 with a 3 secondary, and I am a 3 with an 8 secondary.
I mean, that's perfect.
I know. And it was like, oh my gosh. Because we were trying to, every name we came up with, taken. Every name we came up with was taken. And so we were like, we have to get really creative here, and it has to be something more personal. Right. So that's what we did. And we actually, part of our mission is to help educate entrepreneurs who need technology, systems, programs, tools in their lives and their businesses, but they would probably get really frustrated and want to throw their computer out the window. And so we want to eliminate people throwing computers out windows. And so we teach, and we actually decided to create a 2-day virtual business experience called Level Up to Scale Up. And it is a 2-day event on May 21st and 22nd. And we gathered we had over 100 applications submitted, and we could only choose 30. So hard, by the way.
Right.
And we collected these experts who have recorded a masterclass, and they will be joining us for the live event, and they'll be on panels. So we have like a mindset panel, a financial panel, we have a leadership panel, business development, like all the things related to business, marketing, sales, all the stuff. And so for these 2 days, people will be able to like interact and engage with the panelists. And then the event is free. But if you want to, what I call come and do, right? Because how many times do you go to an event and you take lots of notes and you're like, wow, this is all so great, and you don't implement anything?
Right.
You just learn. So we have the come and learn, which is free. And then we have the come and do, which is come learn and then actually implement. So we have a opportunity for people to be in a mastermind and co-work with our expert panelists.
Yeah.
So
steps. Yeah.
Right. Like actually take action. Yeah. So we have that event coming up, which is very exciting. I'm so excited. We got Leah Valencia, who is the CEO of Valencia Key Jewelry. She is going to be one of our keynote speakers, as well as the amazing, highly energetic Fidel Ford is going to be our mindset guru, who will help, like, as before we go into mastermind, he is going to kind of help us get grounded and make sure that we're going in to a mastermind with an open heart, open mind, the ability to receive what you need to receive, and be able to give what you can give, and just kind of like that little reframe that we need, just in order to make sure that we're going into that mastermind with good intentions, and that we're being intentional about why we're doing it.
Yeah, I love that. I cannot wait to see. I know some of the women in there, and I am so excited for it. So I'm definitely gonna have all the links down below.
Yes, thank you.
For all of your things. And could you just plug your just tell me a little bit about your podcast? Is that with her too?
So I have two podcasts. I
Okay.
have one that is the Potty Mouth Pep Talk podcast. And that's where if you just need a dose of reality and it's literally just me, I don't interview anyone. I just go on a little positive rant. And I talk about whatever is on my mind. And I don't have a regular scheduled program. I literally, when I'm like, you know what, I need to get this out off of my chest. And I literally just go on and I talk, but it's not a rant like a vent. It's
Right.
more like you can do this. Like, you are good enough, you are smart enough, you are like, I'm going to pep talk the BS out of you. Like, I don't take any BS.
Yeah.
And then the other podcast that I do that's more toned down a little bit. I do swear a little bit. It depends. Like, I'm very good at holding my tongue and being professional when I need to be.
Yeah.
And I know when to read the room and go that it's okay for me to say F, right? So it's called Life by Design, Not Default. And this is a podcast that I run with my cohort Paige, and her and I do this together. We interview entrepreneurs, and we talk about life, and we talk about their business, and we talk about like how they got started, and how are they designing a life by design and not default? How are they being intentional? Like, how all of the things, right? Their story and their triumphs, their struggles, all the stuff of, all the in-betweens. And so that's available on Spotify and iTunes and all the places. But we have most of our interviews have been of Polka Dot Sisters.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to get into there too. Like, it's on my to-do list.
Yep. So we are booked out till August.
I believe it.
It's so very, very cool. So I really love it. We record it every Friday, but a new episode comes out every Thursday. And so we just have so much fun being able to talk to people and just help. We just want to make an impact. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Yeah. And I think that you do that. You're amazing. And everyone that meets you loves you. You're so inspiring, and your creativity is palpable. Like, I just love you. Like, you're so amazing. I'm so glad to know you and connect with you. And thank you so much for doing this. In fact, in my Empowering Time Markers, you're going to do a workshop for us.
Yep.
And it'll be May 12th at noon Eastern. And it will be called Bridge the Gap, Find Your Goldmine.
Yes.
It's sales month, just to teach a little bit about that. And I cannot wait to have you in there. So.
Yep. So this class will be great for anyone who is trying to stand out amongst the crowd. So there's a million people that do what you do, but how are you going to differentiate yourself, and how are you going to stand out? And so this is really about finding the gap in your industry, identifying who they are, who's the gap, and then that's where your gold mine is, right? Is that when you can stand out and be different on purpose, then you are going to your gold mine is going to show up in your lap.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Definitely. And I love that. And I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and learning a little more about Elaine. And you are amazing. I'm going to share all your links below. My links are below, and I will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.